Gaetan first, then Barnabas. I could see that, yeah.
Keep a stiff neck.
It was a lot closer than I thought. I thought I was just dead to Yrden no matter what. How's Harmony so far? Not bad. We crushed a Lippy. Oh, deck list. My bad. My bad. Don't really want to Crystal Skull that. He was way too tall. Like that it doesn't run Pavco? Yeah. I could see running Pavco. I just don't know if I want even more humans. I've already got these two. Yeah, that's true. If this goes over here, then if this back row has enough units, the smuggler doesn't move. That's worth considering.
Never had your kneecaps broken.
Everyone has their secrets. Everyone.
Yep. Yuck.
Your next move shall be your last.
Okay, which gets more points? It's probably an Assimilate. Probably. Oh no, where'd Tortoise Cam go? I didn't actually disable it. Maybe it'll bring itself back. Song name top of the screen. Hotline Miami delay. It's on 24/7. It just doesn't work 24/7. I don't know why. There it is. Oh, he's not even there. Yeah, he's like hiding in the corner. Not buffing the one. Buffing the one just makes his Q better. We think the tortoise is a he, but we're not 100% sure. The vet wasn't entirely confident. Yeah, it turns out it's difficult to tell. Guess I'm still missing water. Yeah.
You're dead already.
Aggressive moles probably made sense there. Okay, this gets us... Having this in hand means we have foul. Okay. So we're missing Gaetan. Also Sentries. So I go just do this now. And I want everything ranged since I don't have the Gaetan.
Wait, yes, you won't let us talk to strangers.
Life is fleeting, yet life is eternal.
Fighting me is like snogging a hedgehog's arse.
Nope, he's not there.
The stars contend who shall be victorious today.
I don't really want to let him copy rangers. Kinda awkward. I guess we'll just do this for now. Still getting an engine down. I didn't mull correctly in round 2. And missing a Nero is fine. It's just, like, missing a Nero here doesn't actually matter. We still drew our golds.
If the ground there's countless wretches and corpses.
The problem is just, like, when you miss a Nero and Gezras and Waters.
The senses can be fooled easily. Used to be I hunted game. Men bring more coin.
Leave while you still stand.
The package been good? Yeah. Can't complain.
A taste of milk, is it?
There's a great deal to be known.
I shall flog them into submission.
Feeling a bit peckish.
I'll try to get adapted scheme. Train Hawk's just been Powercraft. Yeah, there's not really anything Rolocked that you're worried about. Which was the reason to play Train Hawk before. But like a 5-for-5 Harmony, not great. Witcher first? Nah, because I'm gonna get Harmony procs when he kills this.
Whitesider, Estef, all says the same coming back up.
Are you fucking kidding me? Catnip instead of crowns?
Nah, just pay attention to some things. I definitely have not played these last few games very well, but sort of getting by. Yeah, I think we just lose. Rip.
Just a peek. That is all I need.
Too many points. There's not really such a thing as a solitaire deck in Gwent because of the pass button. Every deck can press the pass button to interact with the opponent. Generally, I would argue that like pure solitaire decks aren't particularly healthy for card games, but if the rules of the game have like that avenue of interaction, don't think there's inherently a problem with it.
Pride is all we've left.
I mean solitaire. When I think solitaire, I think like Yu-Gi-Oh combo decks that are trying to win on turn 1. I think of decks like Legacy Oops All Spells, which even though like they're interactable, they're not trying to interact with the opponent, they're just trying to turn 1 win the game and hope the opponent doesn't have the force of will. But just like the way Gwent works, decks can't really be solitary. Neither Harmony nor Vi is a solitaire deck. Not even close. They have a plan, they tend to want to stick to that plan, but they're not solitaire decks.
But my faith forbids it.
I've seen the trickery decks, I've heard about them. Vi has the pass button, Vi gets to choose their sequencing. When they want to play consumes, when they want to commit their haunt. Like, these things don't directly interact with the opponent's board, but there's something that's interacting with the opponent.
Got business for me?
Vi has a plan. I don't know. Like, the plan can vary even depending on what the opponent's deck is. When I think solitaire, I'm thinking, like, what the opponent is doesn't affect how you're going to play at all. Like, you could play with your opponent's board blacked out and it wouldn't change anything. It's not really true for Vi. Thrive? Depends on the Thrive deck. But generally it's not true there either. Like, how many Andrega Larvas you want to play into round 1 when you want to, like, mulligan what Thrive units? How many bronzes you want to keep in your hand? These are all decisions where the opponent matters. When you want to take the pass. Like, you don't always push all in round 1.
Leave while you still stand. Your next
I-
move shall be your last.
I hate this. I hate this. Oh, I don't know why I poisoned that one. I didn't realize it had one armor. Whoops. This Viper Solitaire. Maybe? That one might be close. That's definitely closer than any of the other decks. The deck not only has a plan, but it's very rigid. If the plan doesn't work, the deck doesn't work.
One arrow. That is all I need.
Xavier and Viper deck? Probably not. I tried it last season. I'm not even sure Xavier got buffed in the context of that deck. Yeah, but I'm saying there are no decks in Gwent that are basically single player. People say that, but that's people not understanding the decks that they're criticizing.
Feel any burning? See a local healer or wise woman. Not supposed to be any smoke.
Oh, right. I forgot Barnabas was a gnome. That makes this play a lot more questionable. Like, people will call Lippy solitaire. And that deck has tons of interaction in it. Hey, Pronio, thanks for the raid. Welcome, everybody. Hope your stream went well. Explain the concept of binary decks. So, one second. Hey, Lineups, thanks for the tier 1. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Carapace.
The only good human is a dead human.
Hey, and Ed, thanks for the Prime as well. People underestimate how small decisions make a huge difference. Yes. Exactly. The concept of binary decks are decks that, like, win or lose based on one interaction. Or cards that either get a lot of value or get very little value based on whether the opponent has the answer or not. But people use it to describe both decks and cards. It means slightly different things, but basically the same thing. The word is slightly overused. Yes. It is. It definitely is. There's a lot of phrases that get overused in the Gwent community to the point where they don't mean very much anymore. Assimilate mostly win long round versus Harmony? It probably should. So I have Gaetan. Let's go... Bow of Water...
Wind whistles, willows whip.
If this is me now, who was I before?
Solitaire, Binary, Brain Dead. Christ. Brain Dead tilts me so much. Brain Dead's the most frustrating one. Because it just means deck I don't like. I hear Solitaire quite a bit.
Are you fucking kidding me? Catnip instead of crowns?
Crayon Ear. I don't hear that one very much. I think I might be in the wrong circles to hear that one.
Fighting me is like snogging a hedgehog's arm.
The realm of the living severs your chain. Abandon now your mortal state.
I didn't sheathe it till the ground was slick.
There'll be nothing to pick up when I'm done with you.
Hey, Encon might be a win con. Holy shit.
We didn't take the
It's so rare.
process.
Saves me? Not really. It would if this game was going longer, but like the armor does too. Any Trinet collabs? I haven't been asked to collab yet. I'm probably like the wrong type of channel for them. This channel's a lot more casually focused. They seem to be trying to corner the competitive side of things. The lack of control hurt the deck. I mean... Like, what's the best way to answer an old spear tip? You can kill it with, like, Geralt, but you can also just, like, play something that's bigger than it, and you basically countered it. Like, if your opponent plays an old spear tip and you play an Azrael consuming Yigern, You're winning that interaction. If your opponent plays a Yenkon, then you play a Gezras, you're winning that interaction. You don't need to answer the Yenkon. You indirectly answer it by just presenting a bigger threat. Enhanced Wincon? Probably at some point. What's the difference between removal and control? Removal is just a type of control.
Got business for me?
Removal, like, locks aren't removal, but locks are control. Valkyrie Coldrum? Probably not. Probably not. When I talk about control as, like, an archetype, I tend to think of it more as...
What is it you want?
True love could lift the curse, but
It's like when you talk about control, aggro, and midrange in other card games,
Doesn't belong.
there's like aggressive, which is more proactive, you have control, which is reacting to the opponent, and you have midrange that can do either. And I think when you go by those definitions, they still apply to Gwent, even though they're not the definitions most of the community would use.
Show me the coin or sod off.
Control can be that. Control can also be like lining up scorches. Generally, things that are removing points from the opponent's board are more control.
Yes, sir. As ordered.
But like the Gwent community tends to call this more like proactive versus reactive. When you could just as easily say it's like aggro versus control. It's the same sort of thing. We just don't use that terminology. How the fuck do I win this matchup?
Your next move shall be your last.
Yeah, in Gwent it kind of does. We've bastardized a lot of terms. That would be one of them. Midrange sort of just means not an archetype in Gwent. But more traditionally, it would be a deck that's like a blend of proactive points and removal, or like a balanced blend of proactive points and removal. Because obviously every deck has to have points at some point. Just like control decks in Magic play their finishers.
Oh, I'm feeling sleepy, grumpy,
There.
dopey, and watchful.
Whoops, I got distracted. The problem with those definitions is that's not a spectrum. Like, midrange is supposed to be the middle ground between aggro and control. It's the thing that mixes both of them. Like, you've just defined them as three independent terms there that have nothing to do with one another.
One arrow. That is all I need.
I'd say there's no aggro in Gwent. I would say aggro is just what people say proactive is. It's the same thing. Just because there's no face doesn't mean there's no aggro. Aggro is just the opposite of control.
Her grace will not be pleased.
Leave while you still stand.
I would describe midrange cards as that. Like, Flame Tongue Kavu is a very mid-range card. If we're gonna expand into other games. I mean, it just depends how you want to define them. You could also frame aggro versus control as proactivity versus reactivity in other card games. Control decks are generally reactive. Just like Gwent decks, control decks are reactive. And that framing is still useful. Like dictionary one. I mean, the problem is like the community doesn't agree on definitions of terms. Patricidal SK Warriors is mid-range? Yeah. I'm just making the distinction between mid-range card and mid-range deck. But like, not every card in a mid-range deck has to be a mid-range card. You can be a mid-range deck just playing like a mix of control cards and aggressive cards.
A taste of Northland, is it?
Do I have to keep playing?
Destiny wanted to talk to strangers.
Life is fleeting, yet life is eternal.
Yeah, oh, I agree with you, Goldenberg. I agree with you completely.
What is truth if not an illusion?
Just a peek. That is all I need.
But a lot of people's definitions for mid-range in Gwent would either say warriors aren't cohesive enough to be an archetype, or that it's not a mid-range deck because it's warriors. Not saying that I agree with that, but I feel like that's what a lot of people in the community would say.
Yeah, I work for the Queen.
This deck's been alright. We lost to Witchers because we punted and got Yrden and didn't draw our golds. We're about to lose to Assimilate a second time.
Enough. Let us finish this.
Yeah, I mean, Gridaya decks are pretty mid-rangey. They played points in removal. They also weren't archetypal, but that's secondary.
No point in showing at all.
Darn. So I need to purify.
I hate nothing more than a creaky door.
These are very cohesive. The whole strat of many small pings adding together and bonuses to keeping things damaged or killing for value.
To play with my prey,
There are some cards that are like that. I wouldn't say like the Warriors deck really takes advantage of Bloodthirst all that much. They play like a Champion's Charge that they just get off their leader.
I shall flog them into submission.
I guess they play Greatsword.
Need something, governor?
Too slow.
Nope, just rolling with the punches. I feel like there's not too much point in having specific expectations for patches. Just kind of set yourself up for disappointment. There's tons of things that they can do. You can have like some general hopes. Like I'm pretty glad they brought down Vi's power level a bit. But I wouldn't go full out like hope they do X. Oh, this is round 2. Is our opponent throwing? Are they winning anyway? Oh, could I have Barnabas? Would it not have worked? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Sorry,
Probably could have just brought a bust. I have another gnome. Maybe not. She got, yeah. We did good. We drew cards. Harmony's not doing too bad. I can't complain. They changed lockdown, but it might be some time. Of all the leaders that have got removed from the game, so many have gotten cycled through that I'm convinced they just like lockdown's design, and it will never change. As much as that frustrates me personally, I've just come to accept it. Lockdown hasn't been significantly played before. I mean, I guess that's fair.
There is no shame in fear.
Points.
No mercy!
Points.
Fighting me is like snogging a hedgehog's ass!
Lockdowns just not exist, even if it's not seeing play all the time. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's sort of how I've always felt about it. Nothing's really changed, other than it's more prevalent now than it used to be. Took the long round, I'm pretty sure we were fucked. I bought the Journeys Premium Pass, because chat bought it for me. I didn't have a choice in the matter. He blew a lot in round 1. Yeah, but he blew a lot in round 1 so that he could get the long round against me. Instead, he just played his long round down a card in the second round. When he could have played his long round on even cards in round 3. Nope, still not there.
Humans above, beasts below. Don't know which is worse.
Over Saskia. Should I play a Saskia? Am I breaking Devotion only for a Neuromancy? Man. I must really like playing a Neuromancy.
Your next move shall be your last.
Do I need Devotion? It'd be cool to play a Phyrexinet. Every time I play an ST Devotion deck, I feel like Phyrexinet's the real reason to be Devotion ST.
One arrow.
Have I still not gotten a deck link? Man, I am the worst. Hey, Tesman. Point of the damage on the poison, so you can it's still doing something even if the poison doesn't get completed. If the poison gets purified, you still delta damage. If you don't have 2 copies of Dryad Ranger, it's still dealing a damage. There's plenty of times you like kill a 1 with Dryad Ranger. I've seen Elfguard leaders that work with their decks other than Double Cross and Assimilate. Yeah, I mean, I like cohesive leaders. I think that's generally good design. I don't think that's a problem with Double Cross. I think that's just a problem with the design of the Nilfgaard leaders. Like, what leader are you supposed to play with soldiers? Imperial formation? Doesn't really have that much synergy. leaders like all of Syndicate? I mean, I can't. I don't know if you're like being sarcastic, but I sort of agree. I like Cash. I like Off the Books. I like Congregate. I don't think the problem with like Cash's prevalence is Cash as much as just like it rewards you for playing the best cards in the faction. Not enough good tribute cards to reward you for playing King of Beggars.
What's going on about this art, fella?
Syndicate has a few lame designs too, but I don't know. I think generally Syndicate has pretty good leaders.
You're dead already.
At least the idea behind the leaders is good. Let me put it that way.
Timing's the easy thing. Getting down's another matter.
Up the tree you go, lad. Quick now. Retrieve my bolt.
Decent design. Yeah, exactly. The problem with Syndicate isn't really the leaders, it's the card pool, in my opinion. See any of them live? I didn't go to a lot of concerts. I'm not sure there's anything on this current playlist that I've seen live. But I'm usually not a huge fan of live music in general. I'd rather just listen to good recordings.
Would you rather I crushed your head or rip it clean off?
Yep, we'll be getting another speedrun attempt. We'll do a practice stream tomorrow, and then the speedrun will be on Wednesday.
To see Care Saren from here?
Let's make this quick.
What?
I didn't sheathe it till the ground was
Ah! I meant to click Ivo! Tilt. What am I gonna play? I think I'm playing Witcher NR. I don't know if Cloggers is reliable enough.
Can I come down now? No, oh no. You can't just sacrifice it.
It's a financial advice stream? No. Never. Farm Rage quits with Cloggers. Yeah. Paper hands? I diamond hands for a while.
To play with my friend, I enjoy that most.
Save all the animation time from leaders. Yeah, this is true. This is true. However, the goal is to go, what was it, 97-2 is the current record? I don't know, I feel like Cloggers loses the stupid shit enough. The record might not be possible. I thought it did commit leader round one. Well, it's both. You're going for win rate, you're going for round win rate.
Life is fleeting, yet life is eternal.
Win rate's probably more important than shaving a couple seconds off of every game. Because if you lose once before rank 7, you lose like a half hour.
Retrieve the bolt. I know. I'm on it.
Is Dryad a spy? I don't know. Weird bug. It is actually spying too. This isn't just visual. If my opponent had an Impera Enforcers, it would have gotten a charge. We win. Well played, well played. I think he used an order and then realized he didn't have the points in hand, and then tilt roped. I can respect the tilt rope. We don't really have a long round anymore. Figure 8%. Bomb deck still viable? I played a bomb SK deck yesterday that felt really good. ST losing Justice is rough. Did he actually just walk away? What a salt lord. Yeah, Onslaught Pings plus Dancing Star is pretty sick.
You best yield now.
It's a lot of green emotes. Might be too many golds. Okay. Tried harpy eggs yet? Nah. I've like looked at things you could do with it and nothing looks interesting. It all just looks really sad deluxe. Huh. Pass on 7? Play a miner. Reweeb emotes are a lot. It's whatever.
Are you fucking kidding me? Catnip instead of crowns?
Discard to not get clogged. Yeah, I could maybe discard the Cat Witchy, but I don't think I'm that worried about him clogging me with a Cat Witchy. Hey, non-fat Ninja Hell. Thanks for the Prime. Thanks for the 24 months. Welcome back. Yeah, I could definitely see an argument for discarding Miner and the Bowman. And I guess at that point, there's not much cost in just discarding the Cat Witchy too. Oh, I do have to hard mull in this matchup, don't I? I can't just say it's good enough because not finding a Nero is like a 10-point difference, 20-point difference.
Don't make me laugh.
With the I crushed your
Anyone
feet.
explain Harmony? So if you have a Harmony unit in play, and you play a tagged ST unit that isn't currently of a tag that is on your side of the board, all your Harmony units get boosted. So if you have a Dryad Ranger in play, When you play a Dolblathana Sentry with no other elves in play, all your Harmony units will get boosted by 1. But if you already have an elf in play and you play Sentry, Harmony does not proc. Hey, Vanand, thanks for the raid. Welcome, everybody. Hope your stream went well.
Nothing will stop us.
Humans are scum. I prefer elves, dwarves, pixies even.
Yep, unless your opponent kills the tag. So like if you play a Cat Witcher, trigger Harmony, and then your opponent like kills your Cat Witcher with Attorney Joust or whatever,
As good as dead that long.
then you can play another Cat Witcher and get your Harmony procs again.
Kaadmel and Shay.
It's sort of why it's okay to play so many Witchers in the deck, because a lot of the time Cat Witchers die and you get your Harmony procs and other stuff.
The wind whistles Willow's whip.
Just keep everything behind the defender. Yeah, his mentors are gonna be really good. I needed to hard mull for an arrow. There's only one more look, but it's probably worth it anyway. Wow, really? This is the deck. This is my human. I really want to find a Nero. Treant.
If this is me now, who was I before?
Yep.
As order, and out feed.
Leave while you still stand.
Heatwave a better 10 than Barnabas. Heatwave doesn't proc all your harmonies. Most of the time, probably not.
I'm impressed.
My stack front row, I have Gaetan.
Your next move shall be your last.
You will not regret this, good sir.
Dunya, strange fruit. Help is not on the way.
Not really much rush to play this. Let's just do this followed by Gaetan. Means we're dead? Probably. This is not speedrun practice yet. Speedrun practice is tomorrow.
What's better than a dead noble? 2 dead nobles.
I mean, this is 2 less mentors.
Judge me? How dare you?
Smuggler looking sus. Smuggler's a human. Smuggler's playing for 8 tempo.
Strike first and strike hard.
There's a great deal to be learned from the answer.
Okay.
No such thing as justice in this
Do we win? We win, right?
Show me the coin or sod off.
Loses because of that card? I mean, I think he loses because of more than just like artifact compression not being a good answer to Gezras.
See a local healer always.
Like, even if his card killed the Gezras, we're still winning there. Colgrim with an on-gray longship. Yeah. Yep. I mean, it's a developing meta. Early on, the meta tends to be really about rock, paper, scissory, because decks aren't optimized yet. A lot of the time, optimizing a deck is about, like, shoring up the bad matchups.
Retrieve the bolt. No, I'm on it.
Decks are good against NR Witches. NR Witches with a Ragnar.
Got business for me?
Kelly's good against NR Witchers, right?
Special price, just for you, love.
Knights get princesses and we get what? Bloody Striegers!
Play a Kelly deck, which is not fun. I mean, I think that depends. I think there are a lot of people that really enjoy playing Kelly. Well, often do I play offline games? Off stream? Pretty much never. I think the last time I played a game offline was I played some Monster Train offline months ago. Do I enjoy playing Kelly? Not the current iteration of Kelly. I liked the old Renew Kelly deck. But like Siri dash decks aren't the most fun for me to play. This was like way before the dash buff. Yeah, like I understand why people do like it. That do like it. The deck has a lot of play to it too. Type of deck that's rewarding to learn.
Climbing's the easy bit. Getting down's another matter.
You gotta need to gem this, right?
Life is fleeting, yet life is eternal.
Probably should be jamming in melee.
Temeria has yet to speak its last.
No defenseless, much better at that.
Yeah, sorta. Or you can just like play 2 tall removals and you're fine. But yeah, you gotta prioritize what's more important. Yeah, this all should have been melee. This is bad. Siri Dash, any card that draws you a card is really powerful in this game because it like gives you an extra. If you're, how do you explain this to a new player? When you draw a card and your opponent doesn't, your opponent still has to play a card every time you play a card, but it's easier to get into future rounds with more cards than the opponent. And if you have more cards than the opponent, you're winning. It's not like other card games where a card that just like draws a card is just replacing itself. Drawing a card is like getting ahead in Gwent. Drawing a card and not having to replay another card, I should say. Like, if you play a Siri Dash in round 1 and it draws you a card, it is easier to get into round 2 on even or up a card. Yeah, it's just like drawing 1 in Gwent is like drawing 2 in other card games. But it's even more extreme here, because like cards are a bigger resource. Yeah, last play can be massive as well. Yes, this is a hand. Drawing a card is like an extra turn. Yeah, yeah. Drawing a card's a lot like Time Walk. That's probably a better way of talking about it.
The wonders of projectiles.
Like in Gwent, the game is limited by how many cards you get to play. Normally you get 16 turns per game. Siri Dash gives you a 17th turn. Oh, tree and board. I just want like a sentry. What's Council doing? I guess let's see what Council's doing. Probably wants to be a poison.
The only good human is a dead human.
One arrow. That's all I need.
Say allows you to play certain. Yeah, but the Siri Dash is good for reasons that are bigger than just last play. Like a round 1 Siri Dash is so much stronger than a round 3 Siri Dash because of how like the round system works. If you win round 1 on even cards, you get to bleed your opponent down to whatever number you want.
Come on now. One of you must know the answer, sure.
Syndicate any good? Chibi Syndicate felt cool. I don't know how good it was. But I could see there maybe being a variant that makes sense. The Justice change is big for Kong, but seems like no one's playing Kong. The metagame shift away from like people playing a bunch of things that counter Vi is probably good for cash overall too.
Left. That.
You gotta dodge. You gotta have the
No, you're not the only one who likes the Justice change. It's a pretty popular change as far as I'm aware.
To play with my friend, I enjoy that the most. No, oh no, no, no. You can't just sacrifice.
I don't train on the cone. I hate it.
Judge B? How dare
It's not unplayable in ST. It's unplayable in non-elf ST. What's that? Tortoise isn't there though. Hey, I'm civil.
One more time. Now, try throwing 3. Should have listened to the old lady.
I'll play the elf. This is 6. This is also 6. Get a Cat Witcher. Cat Witcher doesn't proc with 2 Harmony. Kills a Witcher. I don't know if that matters.
You're dead already.
Treant. I have a Treant already. Treant board just plays for 7. Nope, still not there.
Let's get this over with.
Bring it faster. The windmill and hit. Hard.
Yeah, it is a little weird that Justice doesn't spawn a muscle on Brick. That's a little janky, I agree with that. Rip.
Not without good reason. They call him stern.
Fucking Yurdens. Ruining my harmony.